Way of the Warrior. It is your MMA show covering everything in the world of mixed martial arts. UFC 136 is this weekend. Huge stacked card, and one of the fighters who will be taking on Chael Sonnen joins us right now. All-American Brian Stann. Brian, how are you?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
I am excellent. Welcome back. Very excited for this weekend. UFC 136. You taking on Chael Sonnen, and an interesting fight in that I think most of us are used to Chael's normal shenanigans, but you guys are so close. In fact, right before this was signed, you guys were going to train with each other, correct?
We were, but I think it's been over-exaggerated how close we are because, really it's because of a common mentor. One of my head coaches, a man by the name of John Bardis, is a very great mentor and enthusiast to the entire elite wrestling community. He was the team leader for the Beijing Olympic team that went to China. And so he's known Chael for a number of years as well, and, he's mentored him on all kinds of different things in life, but he's been my coach and almost like a father figure to me for the last 3 years. So we know each other through him, but it's not something where we talk on the phone or we text each other or things of that nature. But we did end up emailing back and forth a couple weeks before the fight. He had a couple friends that were military veterans that were struggling for jobs. Me and my organization helped them. And then, we spoke a little bit, and he had mentioned that he was down on training partners a little bit up there, and he thought he was going to be fighting, pretty soon. He didn't know who he was going to fight. And so we did mention, hey, let's train together. So, we were friends, but it wasn't one of those things where, we were really close and we talked, through a lot of, it was really more just a mutual relationship with one man.
Still, interestingly enough, though, that he has enough respect. He really hasn't said much about you at all, other than he's concerned about this fight because nobody wants to fight you and nobody wants to fight him. And we've been talking on the show. This, for us, is the most exciting fight on the card because we feel that either one of you guys, whoever walks out of the victor, has an awesome opportunity to be the one to dethrone Anderson Silva. Do you feel like that? I mean, I know you're not thinking Anderson Silva, but do you feel the intensity of this fight over the other ones you've had?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime anytime you fight Chael Sonnen, you get that feeling in your stomach. I know when they called me and told me, they said, "Hey, this is who you're fighting." I got that feeling in my stomach, like, ooh, this is big. This is a great opportunity. And so I think everybody does. And, because he's so polarizing in the media and because he's so dominant in the octagon, he's a guy that demands a lot of attention. He's the hottest interview in MMA right now. He is. It's just fact. And so, absolutely, I'm looking forward to this fight. This is going to be one of those matchups where, anybody who makes... the guy who makes the fewest mistakes is going to win this fight, and it's going to take, flawless execution of each other's game plans for each of us to win.
Do you anticipate, because each of you have a strength in a different area of fighting, do you anticipate this one going the distance, or is this one, do you think, is going to end maybe in the middle of the second?
I hope it ends in the middle of the second. I'm the one who's got the ability to end this fight.
Absolutely.
But you never know. Chael, even though he's got 30-some fights, he's always getting better, and he put Anderson Silva down twice. My submission game keeps getting better, so there's so many variables that could happen in these fights that you never quite know. But with his ability to wrestle and grind and find different positions, he's a guy who's very difficult to beat on points because of the things he does. So to me, in my mind, I'm looking for a finish at all times in this fight. I have to make him pay for any mistakes he makes when he closes the distance.
Now, in the Countdown show, there's a moment where you're trying to do an interview with Chael Sonnen, and this fly is flying around you. True or false, that fly is a spy for Chael Sonnen and John Jones?
I didn't think it was a spy. I thought we call it the Greg Jackson Ninja fly. Every time the Countdown show goes down there, that happens in the gym. Every time. And it was so frustrating because, they shut down the whole gym while they're filming all that stuff. So the guys are all waiting to come back in and get their second training session of the day. And we're being held up because I can't get a solid answer out because every time the fly lands on my face. So, I had to take one for the team there.
Absolutely. And congratulations, nominated for a World MMA Award as a Breakout Fighter of the Year. Some stiff competition, but I think you win this weekend. Hands down, I think you've got to be the #1 contender for Breakout Fighter of 2011.
Well, I appreciate that.
Cannot stress enough how excited we are about UFC 136. It is this weekend in Houston. Are you doing anything for the Fan Expo, Brian, or what do you have going on prior to?
We're not allowed. The guys are fighting on the card because the expos get so crazy. They don't even want us near it.
Gotcha.
Pull an ankle or something of that nature. But you're so right. I mean, I was just down in the workout rooms last night getting a sweat in, and you're seeing, the workout rooms for both corners are right next to each other. So all the fighters are down there. And you're looking at it, and you're like, wow, this is amazing. I mean, this guy's on the card, this guy's on the card. It's just a who's who. Yeah, 4 or 5 different headliners just on the card or co-main events. So it's an honor to be part of this card, and I think it's the best one of the year, the best one they've put on since UFC 100. And hopefully all goes well, and the performances are such that this becomes one of those cards that people point to for years and years, saying, wow, that was the best night in the UFC.
It's a huge card, especially when you look at, in the scope of what has gone on UFC news-wise over the last 3 months, this card has kind of snuck up on a lot of people, but Aldo and Florian and Maynard and Edgar, and then you guys with the contention for who will see Anderson Silva next, it's a huge event this Saturday night.
Oh, absolutely. And the fighters all know the implications of it, too. I mean, we're all, it's one of those things, it's a very proud moment for fighters. You want to be on historic cards. You want to be on the stacked cards. You don't want to be the guy in the stands that was just signed at the expo. You want to be the guy on that night that was performing, just because it's special. It's something you'll look back on 10, 15 years when you're not fighting anymore and say, hey, I fought in this card with all of these guys. And I mean, there could be 5 or 6, eventual champions that fight on this card on Saturday night. And that's one of those things that for me, personally, that I really take away, and that I know that'll be a great memory for me for years on.
Always an honor to talk to the All-American Brian Stann. He is fighting this Saturday night in Houston against Chael Sonnen. A big, huge fight. Best of luck, my friend. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it, guys.
Take care.
Great weekend.
You too.